morning, guys. I am Patty Elhoff. I am the author of Upcycle with Decoupage, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Scobie Books, and several online retailers. Sorry about that. Something is behind me. And today I wanted to show you how to make these adorable little wooden hangers. So if I could make one suggestion, if you do want to use the ribbons, even if it's just to present the gifts, I would suggest taking the napkins to the craft store with you just to see if you can match up the ribbons. In the meantime, I will tell you what you need in order to do this project. And here are the supplies we're going to need. Obviously, one of these hangers. I painted it with the gesso, so you're going to need gesso, the acrylic paint, and you want to try to match the acrylic paint to the background decorative napkins. Going to need our decoupage glue. I just poured a little bit in a plate there. I find these nail files to be invaluable when I'm working with decoupage. A few sponge brushes. I'd also like to have a couple of artist's brushes. One of these has the flat tip on the top and the other's pointed. This is just a little shot glass of water. This is a spray paint for the metal part of the hanger because that's gold. And this is our top coat. I'm going to need some plastic wrap from the dollar store. And the first thing you want to do is paint your hanger with the gesso and spray paint this top piece with metal spray. You'll have to sand it up a little bit or rough it up a little bit. Not a lot, just rough it up a little bit. And now we want to take our acrylic paint. Normally one coat is fine since I have a couple of coats of gesso on there. While the hanger's drying, this is a different one that has dried, but while it's drying, I like to go around the edge, and before you separate your napkin, in other words, before you pull these other two plies away, we want to tear off these hard edges. We don't want any hard edges. Dip your sponge brush into the water, go along the edge, and then that tears away pretty easily, pretty quickly. Now we'd like to almost paint, which is why we want this thinner artist's brush, or you can use the flathead artist's brush. Sorry if that's not focusing. Because what we're going to do is now take out little sections of the napkin that you like. So I'm just putting some water around the outside. And so I just pulled away that little piece. Now I'm going to separate it. So if you separate the napkin first and then start to take these parts out, everything's going to tear. It sticks to your fingers and it's very annoying. So I suggest that you go around the napkin and make as many of these small pieces as you want. Then separate the pieces. Here's a really pretty piece right here. I'm going to take out a bunch of sections that I like now and let them dry. That'll only take a couple of minutes for the outline to dry, and then I'll separate them. For now, I'm just going to tear a bunch of pieces. Now that these napkins are dry, or the pieces that we tore out are dry, I'm going to dip my fingers in a little bit of water just to make it tacky, make my fingers tacky, and press around the outside, which separates the napkins. And I'm going to do this ahead of time with all of them. Now that we've got all of our napkin torn and separated, you'll want to take your saran wrap and tear off about a dozen sheets of the saran wrap. Put them aside. Now we'll take our dried hanger and we'll put some decoupage glue on it. I'm going to work in sections. So in one area, I'll put some decoupage glue. And I'm going to fit the napkin on here. See how I like it. Now I'm pulling it just a tiny bit. Then I'm going to take the saran wrap, and now I'm going to press it down. This way you're not going to tear the napkin. You can pull some wrinkles out, move some of the wrinkles out here. You get a nice clean finish and nothing sticks to the saran wrap. Saran wrap pulls right away. Now over here, I'm going to put a little bit of decoupage glue with the artist's paintbrush, one of the artist's paintbrushes. I'm going to put some decoupage glue right here, but I don't want it over here. And I'll show you why. I'm very heavy-handed, sorry about that. I'm getting a little glue over there. And then I'm going to pull a little bit around the base. Take the saran wrap, press it down. If you use your finger for this, you will tear the napkin. So that's why we're using the saran wrap. Now we can tear off this other piece and put it aside to use somewhere else if we need it. And up here I'm going to do the same thing. Just apply a little bit of the decoupage glue in here. Fold the napkin over. Now this is the same piece of saran wrap, but this is the last time I'm going to use it because it will start to get tacky and then it could tear. So do you see up top here how I've now got this nice clean finish, and I've got it on the bottom. The bottom of this is actually pretty rough, the wood is, so it can only look so nice. But what I'm going to do is take the nail file and just along the edge, take this one piece. It's fine if it overlaps. It all depends on the look that you're going for. Now on the edge here, we're going to have to be careful because we can probably get a nice big wrinkle over here. So I just put a little bit of the decoupage glue on the end. And I am going to tear away that one piece and apply this napkin piece to the end. Just going to file off that little edge. And that's how you do the tops, the bottoms, and the ends. And now when you do this side, you'll really just need to place a piece down here because you will have already gotten the top. And I'm pressing along the edges here. I'm not pressing the paper down because I've already got that decoupaged. I'm just pressing the edges right here so that I can file those off once it dries. And when you get up to the hanger part up here, you can use the brush. Wet that piece again so that the napkin tears easily and goes around the hanger. It is much easier as you're working to lay your piece flat down and then put the saran wrap over it and smooth it out and do all of your work. Because I'm trying to keep the video in focus, I'm holding this in one place and showing you, but it is actually better to lay it down. And once you're all done covering the whole surface, you want to let it dry and add at least 2 more coats of decoupage glue. Make sure you cover the whole surface and put it in the driest room possible. I actually have a room that is small with a large heat vent, so the room heats up quickly and these things dry very fast. And then we'll come back and put the top coat on. Now that the hanger is dry, I'm going to apply the top coat. This triple thick says that you should use an acrylic brush, so I'm not going to use a sponge brush. So to do the ribbon, and by the way, here is our completed hanger with the high gloss on it. Lay that down for you. You can see how shiny it is. I just took a piece of wider ribbon, very sheer, and then a piece of very thin ribbon, cut them the same length, and tied them around the hanger and made a bow. And you can adjust that bow to any size you would like. And in the meantime, guys, hey, thank you so much for subscribing. And I love when you ask me questions and give me comments, especially. Don't forget, I have a Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, you can go to Upcycle with Decoupage. If you'd like to show me your work, I've had people put pictures on there and tell me that they're stuck in the middle of a project and they ask me what to do next. I don't mind answering that at all, those questions. So feel free to post pictures, ask questions. You can make some comments here in the comment section. And as always, thank you again for subscribing. I will see you guys next week, or you'll hear from me in any case with another video. Take it easy.